Well, hello there. Welcome live from Dumaguete in the Philippines. Here we are. Okay, guys. So, lots of new things. First of all, we had a hell of a storm last night. Pretty rough. And power went out. And we've had some pretty rough last week, too. Now, most of the bad weather's traveled north, Cebu and Manila, and that's normal. But it really came down last night, and it blew our power out. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I got my headphones on for a few minutes just to make sure it sounds right. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to come on. I'm a minute or so early. It's interesting. YouTube does not allow me to look at the whole picture with. I'm hoping that you guys can see me. So I'm waiting for a little feedback here, guys. Hello from Bohol. Hello. PDX, welcome. E&C Tourist Inn. I don't know it. And I don't even know where the pickleball courts are, though I've heard of the pickleball courts. Yeah, it's a lot cooler in the evening. Actually, this morning was a beautiful morning after that rainstorm. It wasn't humid, but I guarantee you when that sun comes out, which it hasn't yet, but when that sun comes up in a couple more hours, it's going to be miserable. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Hello, Mr. JK. Sounds okay? Okay. No guest. Now, I'm on the right side of the screen purposely, but I just want to make sure you can see all of me because I can only see half of me. YouTube cuts the pictures on live to 3/4 of a screen from left to right. So if you can see all of me, that's good. I don't need to see me. Anyway, so I'm going to close my laptop a little so I'm not staring at myself and I'm looking at you guys. Kind of looks weird when I'm looking down at myself at the screen, I'm sure. And I had to put some extra lighting on because it's kind of dark outside right now. It's overcast. So I put in some extra. I have extra lights on booms here in the studio, and I put those up. When I turned them down, there was shadows. Perfect picture, perfect sound, all good. All right, good. Hopefully we don't get lose our Wi-Fi. I think I finally fixed it. I didn't check what the upload was before I started. I'm half the size. Well, that's because I'm on peptides, retatrutide. I've lost 45 pounds now. But I'm glad you can see all of me. Thank you, D-Win. Mike wants an ADV, and I need an ADV. We'll be there December 1st. I don't rent ADVs. I know they're available because I've seen a guy that owns it. So, who went out to the province to ride them, and he put them in the back of his van to do that. And you can get vans very cheap here from China, and put some heavy boards down or a steel ramp, and ride it right into the back of your van, and then take it out and ride around out in the province because nobody really has. I mean, it's pretty cool. There's not too many houses. There's no fences usually. Might be some animals, but that's about it. No tigers or bears here. That's a good thing. I miss having an ADV. I owned 3 of them, one for me and 2 for my boys. And Polaris, great machines. I wish I could get Polaris here. You probably can, but it costs you a fortune to import it. But yeah, we used to ride in the desert, Mojave Desert, ADVs, and we'd go way out in a motorhome, off the reservation. I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere. Have campfires, tenting. We tent out, even though we had a motorhome. That was for the wifey. The boys and I slept on air mattresses, sleeping bags outside in tents, and stayed up late. Honda ADV scooter available? Probably. Honda's here. I know you can get Honda generators and Honda bikes, so most likely, if it's motorized, you probably can get it here. That would be fun. Unfortunately, not allowed on the streets. Don't know why. They allow it in Mexico. Mexico, you can buy an ADV and ride it on the street and have it registered. But they haven't done that here yet, and I don't know why, because it's a hell of a lot more fun and safer to ride than a motorbike, in my opinion. Four wheels beats two wheels any day when it comes to these streets. And the Philippines, they drive like crazy people. Wrong side of the road, U-turns right in front of you. They don't use their mirrors. They don't use their signals. You really have to look out for the other guy here when you ride. Every day I go out, I say a prayer. Every time I go on my bike, I say a prayer. I love my bike. I love the wind and the breeze. I love the freedom. I love the ride when it's going down the road. But it's just the other people there that are freaking nuts. They cut in and out, and they're going too fast, and they're not very safe. So if you get into an accident, it's because somebody hit you. And that's actually just about every time I had an accident, it was somebody else's fault. And you can't do much about it. I mean, either they don't have insurance, they don't have registration, they're underage, they don't speak English, or they want not to speak English. You can call for a police officer, but unfortunately a Filipino police officer 9 times out of 10 is going to side with his citizen. And they're talking, Visayan to the police officer. You don't know what they're saying, whether it's true or not. And you're talking English, and you don't know if he understands you or not. And unless you have a witness, you're screwed. That's just the way it is here. I don't rent Honda ADVs. I'm sorry. I do rent Honda ADVs 160, but not scooters. Okay. But I do have ADVs. They're all out right now. I have my own ADV, and then I have a couple that are out rented. You can get 3-wheel vehicles and 4-wheel vehicles, gas powered. There's some pretty nice ones. I'll tell you a story about one Carolyn just trashed 3 days ago. It's not a good story. Don't forget about the Cirrus bus drivers. Yeah, these folks are insane. Yeah, they really are, because that's a big vehicle, the bus. I mean, it's a full-size bus, and they literally cut in and out, and they just use their size and blow their horn. They don't care if you're in the way or not. Yeah, I have a couple, Mike. Unfortunately, everything's rented out, and there's literally people waiting for them. I might get another one. Let me know when you're getting into town, and I'll see if I can pick up one more. But hopefully it's not till January, because I don't really want to buy any bikes right now. I'm trying to still raise sufficient funds for the children's Christmas computer classroom, which is coming up in about a month. I have a month to go. I still have to buy some tablets and a big screen TV, HD TV, and a mounting bracket for it, which reminds me I got to order the mounting bracket. And but I do have 20 tablets so far, and the teacher's laptop, and the printer, a laser printer, and the cabinet, and charging hubs, a lockable cabinet to secure them. And we're doing pretty good. I have to go visit the school and make sure that we're going to have the right tables. And then, so we're almost there. I'm more than 50% there. I'm 75% there. I have to have Carolyn input all the apps that the children need, 1 through 6, all the learning apps on the tablets, and stop it from going on Wi-Fi. I don't know what you call it, but child block so the kids don't accidentally go online and show their faces or getting wrong things off the Wi-Fi, as we all know it's out there. I just rode the Cirrus bus down from Cebu. Free tour of Cebu down the coast. It was a nice road. Yeah, I would like to try that one day. I just don't get away for enough time to do it. I'm surprised you didn't take your bike up there, though. You could take your bike up there. It would probably be a cool ride, except for riding in Cebu itself. I'm sure Cebu, I've been to Cebu. Traffic is worse than, I didn't think it could be, but traffic is worse than Dumaguete. So I don't know if I'd want to ride my bike in Cebu, because there's plenty of taxis and other ways of transportation. And if you're close enough, you can just walk to Ayala Malls or anything you need. There's nice restaurants all around the Isle of Malls in every hotel. One of the best hotels to go to is Quest. So if you ever go to Cebu, stay at the Quest Hotel, and it's right next to Isle of Mall. So it's the only one. Everybody goes there. All the foreigners go there. Anyway, so big dump trucks scare you, huh, D? Well, I have a really loud horn, 2 horns. Actually, 2 major air horns types. Well, actually, they're electric. They're not air, but they sound like air horns. And if someone starts to move in my lane, I push that horn button, and it sounds like a truck, and they really move the hell over. I believe they're about 135 dBs each. So I got 270 dBs of horn that goes when I push it. You could buy aftermarket stuff and add it onto the bike, and you know me, I have all kinds of aftermarket stuff. December 1st, I'm looking to buy one. Okay. Are you here, Mike? Are you here in the Philippines already, or are you coming over? Mike rented from me before. I do sell my bikes. I do not have an ADV for sale right now. Actually, I have a person that wants to buy one. Actually, I do have a PCX for sale. That's a really good deal, but I do not have an ADV. What else? A used ADV. Okay, well, that's good. I just don't have one right now because I just bought 2 new ones in the last month. And until I get some renters on there and receive some income off of it, I don't sell them. I usually keep them for about a year, and then I'll sell them in the following year or 2 years later. And I don't have anything. All I have is 2025 ADVs, including my own. I have three of them. So, yeah, I can't sell them. I paid plenty for it, and then I put a top box on it and a bracket to hold the top box and a phone holder, and then I customized it with a custom seat. You start putting all that money into it, you got to get the money back from renting it before you can sell it. All right, coffee. Definitely need coffee. So you're coming on December 1st. Okay. Well, we'll get to meet up. We'll have coffee. And that'll work. Let's see. Let me open this up a little bit. I just don't want reflection. What else is new besides storm? Oh, Carolyn. So let's go back to Carolyn's been having a lot of trouble with her e-cart. It constantly seems to have wheel problems and brake problems. And they come out and they do repair it. They don't charge for parts or anything, but I have to tip the guys each time they come out. So it's usually 500 pesos. And they're coming out once every 2 weeks, okay, to work on both e-carts I have. And it's kind of a pain. So another fellow who rented one from us took it to go up to Valencia. He has a steep driveway, and he said even in the low gear with, I think there was 2 people in the cart, he couldn't make it up his driveway very well. And then what happened was he pushed it so hard, it started to smoke. Now it's an electric 4-wheel e-cart. Made in China. And he said it started to smoke underneath his seat, which is pretty freaky. I told him, bring it back. If you can drive it back, bring it back, and I'll have the guys look at it. And he showed me the wire actually melted off the battery. They didn't use heavy-duty cables to the motor. They put in a bigger motor, but they didn't change the electrical, and that's very typical here. They use undersized wire. And literally the coating on the wires had melted between the two, and surprised it wasn't shorting out. I believe he switched batteries. Luckily, we have 2 batteries. So he disconnected that battery and went to a different battery because it may be shorting out. I'm not sure. I didn't try it. So the guys come out to replace it with wire, and I look at it and go, the wire you guys brought is smaller than the wire that's on there. I mean, how is that going to work? You'd have to use 4 of those. Okay? Well, that's what they did. They literally took 4 5-6 foot long wires and put them all together so they'd have enough copper. Everything here is a little bit half-ass, and you have to go with the flow. I have a problem with that. I like everything done right. Okay, I'm sure 4 copper wires twisted together, and they banded them together, taped it so it made it. They used black tape for the whole 5-6 foot length and covered it. And so when I looked at the copper, it definitely was enough copper to handle the current. but it just seemed like the wrong way to go. But it will work. Okay, so they replaced the hot wire and the ground wire by putting 4 smaller wires, like, I don't know, like 14, 16 gauge wires together in order to have enough power, which is low voltage. It's 65 volts. It's not 12, but it's 65 volts. So they'd have enough power to go to the motor. So the guy brought it back, and I refunded him the money. And very nice, very nice. His name is Michael. Mike was really nice. And he said, hey, I want to come over and show you the cart that I got for his wife. And at the same time, I want to talk to you about peptides. He wanted to get some peptides. I said, yeah, come on over. So he came over, and he says, well, I said, can I try the cart? He says, sure, sure. And Carolyn wasn't home yet. And she went to the market. And I said, well, Carolyn will probably be back in a little bit. She's been gone for over an hour, so she should be back soon. So I took the cart. It didn't turn very well, but it was a very beautiful cart. And I would say it was a little bit nicer. Now, my cart cost me 80,000 pesos. His cart was 128,000, if I remember right. You guys will have to do the math. I only know pesos, but right now it's roughly 60 pesos to the dollar. So 128 is going to be 2,000. Is that right, guys? A couple $1,000s. Anyway, and it was a beautiful cart. I think it was made better than the one I had. I think it also was Chinese, but it was very nice. I took it up and I took it back, but making a 3-point churn didn't work. We had to do about a 5-point churn to turn it around in a road because you have to turn the wheel multiple times, like not like a car where you turn a little bit and it turns the wheels a lot. This one, literally, you're turning it 2-3 times in full circles to make it go one way or the other. Your front wheels. So I parked it, and Carolyn came home, and he said, "Do you want to try it?" And I said, "Yeah, she'd like to try it." It says, I showed her it has a foot accelerator and it has a foot brake, and I told her to use 1 foot, and she kept putting 2 feet up, one on the accelerator, one on the brake. I says, "No, honey, you got to use 1 foot because that's the way they drive cars, because you don't get confused between 1 foot and the other." And so he got in the back seat. No, he didn't actually get in the back seat. So she was ready to go, and I said, just go a little bit forward. Well, the wheel was turned, I think, all the way to the left. I'm really not sure, but that's the way it went. It went directly left, like exit stage left, and she stepped on both the brake and the fuel at the same time, and the thing frickin' took off, hit a cement pole. She went a total of about 20 feet, maybe 25 feet, and hit that pole hard enough to completely dent the front bumper of this 1-week-old brand new cart. Oh my God, he was so devastated, Michael. And he has to show his wife the damage. And I felt so bad. And Carolyn was almost in tears because she was shocked, okay? She didn't realize what happened. And I said, you used both feet, okay? I says, and you didn't brake. And as you pushed harder, you pushed both feet harder. So it didn't stop. It went forward. Well, I owe him a bumper at least. Maybe I'll buy the bike from him. I'll see if we can. I told him I can't do it until after January, but we'll see. I may have to buy his 4-wheeler. Anyway, let's see. What else? Coming over December 1st. I see I only have information from Mike. If hear of one for sale between now and keep in mind. Okay, Mike. Well, I actually need one myself, so... Hey, Goldfinger, this is Julio. Just record your ride with cameras. That way you can show the police officer what happened. Yeah, you'd have to... Yeah, you could buy one and mount it on your scooter, but they're blind to the facts. They'll ask you, when they stop you and you have an accident, say, and this actually did happen to me, girls hit me broadside. They made a U-turn on a one-way street and literally hit me when they made the U-turn. They didn't look left or right. They just made a U-turn because they were missing their exit. And when they made the U-turn, they just hit me broadside and knocked me off my bike. Now, they didn't fall, but they threw me off balance and I went down. And when the police came, because they said they insisted the police come. I said, okay, that's fine. But I says, you know it's your fault. And they're like, well, you were trying to pass us. I says, no, I was riding alongside you. I wasn't trying to pass you. I wasn't going any faster than you were. You just didn't turn your head. You didn't use your blinker. And you made a U-turn on a one-way street. I says, you obviously don't know how to drive. Well, cop came. Cop asked me for my driver's license and my registration, okay? But he never asked her. And she looked underage, and I'm pretty sure she didn't have one. But he never asked her, and I'm like, And then luckily a couple people came forward who saw it, and they told him in Visayan how I could tell with their hands that she made a U-turn and that she's at fault and blah, blah, blah. And then I could see her face saddened. And I says, well, I was scraped up. I says, hey, listen, I have medical. If I need medical attention, I can go to the hospital. I'll just be sore for a few days. I don't think it's very serious. Just some, road rash on my leg and my arm and scratched up the bike. I says, you need to pay for the bike. I says, my biggest thing is this bike is brand new and you scratched up the bike when it went down by hitting me. I says, so we were right in front of the Honda dealer, and it was a Honda bike, and her friend went in there. She had a friend on the back of the bike. It was two of them. Her friend went in there and got the price for the part. It was 3,500 pesos, probably about 500 to install it. And they go, well, we don't. I said, I just want you to pay for the part. That's all I want. Well, they didn't have 3,500. And the cops look at me, well, what do you want to do? I'm going like, well, they have to pay something. It's totally their fault, and they know it's their fault. I says, they can't blame me for something they did. I says, they need to pay something. I said, that or they could go at my place and do work. I need painting and planting and cleaning done because I was still fixing this place up. Well, they don't know me, so they didn't want to come over. Okay, it's cool. But and they obviously were schoolgirls because they were buying a bag of stuff to sell. It looked like a bunch of the same things, like little boxes of candy or gum and things like that, or chips. I don't think it was for them because it was like 2 bags full. And so I said, what do they have? And they said, well, maybe 1,000. I said, just give me 500 pesos. I says, they have to pay something because they're at fault. They have to learn. They won't learn if they don't pay something. I didn't really want the 500 pesos. I didn't really need the 500 pesos, but I just kind of felt like they should pay something. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seemed like the only punishment I could think of. I said, or if you don't want to pay anything, come over to my place and do some work for a couple hours. But anyway, good morning, Raymond. How are you? So obviously in that case, the expats pay the price. That's just the way it is here. Expats pay the price. I was sore for a few days. I didn't go to the hospital. Any advice, according to PDX, any advice with tricycle drivers and prices? They want 150 pesos for City Mall to Robinson's downtown. I think it should be, it probably should be 50 if they're picking up other riders. A maximum is 100. 150, you can negotiate. Everything is negotiable. You could just say 100, and they may say no, and you say you could pick up other riders on the way and pay them 100. That's only less than $2. It is pretty far from City Mall to Robinson's. But when you come outside of Robinson's, and you can say, if they say no, let them go, bye, and pick another guy that comes by and say 100 pesos. I'll give you 100 pesos if you just take me to Robinson's. Don't even ask the price. Say, how about 100 pesos? Take me to Robinson's. It might be out of his way or something, but he can pick up other riders, and just tell him you can pick up other riders. Now, when you get out of Robinson's, do not go out to the front to National Highway to get a pedicab. They charge $500-600 to get back home. They got a real thing going there, and you're not going to find somebody that's cheaper, okay? They all talk to each other, and they all work together, and they're the only ones that are allowed to be out front of Robinson's. So this is a whole thing going on here, a scam, okay? What you do is go to the side street away from Robinson's. You'll go to the side street of the corner, and not in the front. And if you go on the side street and then get a pedicab, you can negotiate for 100 pesos back to the area of City Mall. City Mall is in Daro. Yeah, the area you're going to is Daro. So you could tell them City Mall or Daro, either one. Thanks, Ray. I don't know. I kind of felt bad afterwards because they obviously didn't have any money. They're young girls. I wish they had come. I gave them my card and I said, contact me. Would you like to do a video, and I'll pay you both 500 pesos each? But they never did. I figured they could make 500 pesos, but they didn't. So I tried. Good morning. All I know is C North 50. So I wonder what C North 50 means. Let me know. So anyway, Been really busy. I did get a video out yesterday. I have another video pending. I haven't had a chance to edit it, and I have Monty Bossman. He wants to tell me a good story about a girl after the girl leaves. She hasn't left yet, so he's still dealing with that. Can't wait to hear that one. We always want to hear about the girls because they have drama. Okay, especially if the younger they are, the more drama they have. And when you're an old guy and you have a young girl, you just have to laugh it off because they're so immature. But that's the problem with dating young girls. Thank God Carolyn is the sweetest person. She's half my age, but she's mature, very mature, and smart, super smart. And I didn't have to teach her much other than sex. Shh, I didn't say that. But she has a great son, Dominic, and he's a kick. He's 6 years old, and he's all boy. He likes guns, rifles, police cars, fire trucks, riding a bike. He's all boy. I love it. And Carolyn she's hot. I mean, she's a good-looking girl. She put a picture up on Facebook. It was an AI situation. So she generated something with a bathing suit. It was her body, but it generated the bathing suit, okay, part. And she posted it on Facebook, which I was kind of shocked because she's usually very conservative. But she did it as a joke. There's 180 views on it with people commenting, who is she? Goldfinger is so lucky, blah, blah, blah. She's hot. But she is super hot. I did get lucky because she's not just hot, she's smart and she's sweet. Hello from Texas. How you doing, Mark? Yep. So we're still early. What do we have? We have 43 people on right now. Cool. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Anyway, so far we're streaming good. So it says streaming health is excellent. So it seems like I may have solved my bandwidth problems with PLDT. It took a while to figure it all out, but I had to run an Ethernet cable directly to my studio, and I had to change my conversion to my laptop, and I had to put in a higher receiving, like a gigabyte port, which was a USB-C. And so I had to change that, and Ugreen is a really good company. So I had to buy a high-end transfer from RJ45, which is the Ethernet, to a USB-C, and then I also had to get a different modem that would handle over 1 million. And sometimes I'm actually running at 1.2 gigabytes up and down, so it's way better now. I was almost at the point to buy Starlink, and you can get Starlink here, but it's not cheap, and it's also 3,800 pesos a month. You'll have to do the math, 60 pesos to the dollar, so 6, 12, 24, 36. So it could be pretty expensive. So it's 50, 60 bucks a month, every month, which is a lot more than I pay for PLDT. That's just too much. Anyway, and you got to buy the Starlink, and then Starlink's not perfect either because in a storm or bad weather, it has to have a clear line of sight, uninterrupted signal to the satellite. And in bad weather, overcast or foggy or whatever kind of weather you have, storms or whatever, you're gonna have problems with Starlink as well. So the only problem I have now is if power goes out. But I do have a battery backup on my Wi-Fi and my laptop, and I also have another bigger one available for appliances. Let's see. I met a girl on the Cirrus bus. I bet you did, PD. She was nice. I mean, she was hot. Had a job and was beautiful Filipina. Well, did you get her name and number? You want to share it? Goldfinger. This is from Cold Smash. The previous interview, we found more about you than the guests. Ask him more questions next time. Yeah, well, that happens. I know. I talk too much. But that's just me. You're going to have to put up with it. Sorry. Do you experience, according to D-Wayne, do you experience the left turn habit? I mean, someone is trying to turn left at an intersection and cut inside of you rather than going outside of you. Yes, there are no rules on that. Okay, there's no street rules. Okay, there's not too much police to enforce it either. They don't have a lot of police driving up and down. None on horseback, none on motorcycles that I've ever seen. I'm sure they do have it, but not here in Duma. And you don't see too many police SUVs. I've never seen cars, but you see some SUVs. But usually they're parked, and they're just enforcing for you to wear a helmet and closed-toe shoes. And then they're checking mostly citizens, Filipinos, for registration and license. Most times they'll let Americans pass. Now, if you screwed up and you happen to have 500 extra pesos on you, you could always talk to them and shake their hand and pass along the love and get out of any kind of problem. But you should be wearing a helmet, and you should be having closed-toe shoes. And honestly, you should be wearing long pants and long shirts. But it does get too hot here, and I wear shorts and t-shirts. So I'm just saying what you should. It doesn't mean I am, or I do what I say. So excuse me, I gotta have some more coffee. Yeah, it's just a matter of time before you get in an accident on a motorbike. It's not if, it's when. And like I said, I know that earlier we were talking about it. I know I'm going to get in an accident again because it's happened 4 times in the 3 years I've been here. And I know I shouldn't be passing people, but sometimes you just feel like giving the throttle a little thrust and moving forward and passing stuff. I mean, the bike, I changed the CRT, which is like a transmission. I changed it, and I have a more torque on the low end. So I can get up and go. That bike will shoot past everybody if I want to, and I can get around traffic. But that's what's going to get me in trouble, okay? Because you don't know what's going to come out from your blind side. But Paul does love you. No more love, huh, Paul? I can't answer for him. He got burned out on the lives. Maybe he'll come back one day. I'm sure he will. I'm going to be doing a recording with him next week. With Lowell. So I said, let's go back to the old way since you don't want to come, onto the live podcasts. I'll come over, you record, and we'll catch up on what things are happening and have another guest as well. So I'm going to do a recording at Forest Camp with him next week, and he could post it and go from there. In the U.S. Starlink, I paid $120 a month. Holy shit. Dude, that's a lot of money. Is it worth it? That's the buck, and he's missing the T. The buck way. Maybe it's supposed to be wheat. I don't know. So, dude, that's a lot of money to pay monthly. But everything is more expensive in the U.S. And did you have to buy the Starlink? Probably. Because you have to buy it here too. It was 40,000 pesos. Again, 60 pesos to the dollar. So that's let's see. It's not cheap. And it's $600 maybe. I don't know. And it's not. But what can you say? I mean, Starlink would be fine as long as you have power too. But it's probably, until I figure out how to fix the PLDT, which is better than Globe. That's our two choices here. Globe sucks. PLDT is better. Until you learn how to fix the PLDT and you pay for a higher service, and then you get a better modem and a better Wi-Fi unit, okay? And you could also get, I forgot, they don't call them repeaters anymore. There's inter something or other. They call them something else, but basically it's a repeater. You can put them in different rooms, and they'll take the signal and make it stronger. You can get excellent Wi-Fi coverage on your property and protect it. You could have, password protected, and you can get an excellent high speed, and then just use a battery backup. They have them here in case the power goes out. And usually, even though the power goes out, the Wi-Fi is staying on, which is cool. Gold from Julio. Thanks for the live. What do you think about creatine monohydrate supplement? I think I don't know anything about it, and I can't talk about it. And maybe I need, you know what? I'm going to take a picture of that. I can't do a snapshot. I don't know how to do a snap. I'll do a snapshot from my phone. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to turn on my camera, and I'm going to look that up. So I will know next time. All right, I got a snapshot of that. So are we? Yeah, we're 100%. Okay. So I will find out, but I won't be able to answer you unless you hit me up on an email or something. Teddy bar. Could have been teddy bear. Looking forward to the new and updated book. Looking good. Thank you very much. I've lost 45 pounds. I'm on 9 peptides, guys. 9. Don't ask. It just happened. Everyone does something different. 3 of them are for lowering blood pressure, lowering blood sugar. My blood sugar is normal now. My blood pressure is going down to normal. It was in the 180, 190s, and now we're in the 130s naturally without medication. It's really doing a great job. It will bring you down to normal, and it will not take you, as a pill will take you lower than normal. So, as far as I'm sorry, the ebooks are going out this month. It's going to take at least another 2 to 4 weeks to get them all out because Carolyn does them. My wife. Raymond says, in Manila, the cops are on the lookout for people who violate their number coding day. Their number. I don't know what that means. My girlfriend was able to talk her way out of it. Yeah, they're usually very nice if you're very nice to them. They usually don't want to bother foreigners, okay? Unless you're totally violating. You have to wear a helmet. That's a major violation. You could get away with flip-flops, but I don't recommend it because they can write you up for that. But helmet is a must, okay? And but you can go over the white line. You go over the double yellow, solid yellow lines. You can go cut through gas stations. You can go the wrong way on the wrong side of the highway. You can have typically loud mufflers, though they frown on really loud. But guys they take their mufflers off because they'll save gas, and the bikes are a lot louder. But if they see a cop ahead, they will pull over and stop and just get off the bike for a half hour to an hour. Or you can make a U-turn and they won't come after you. Okay, it's not like the U.S. I've seen so many crazy. They cut in and out. They go on the wrong side. They'll pass on the right side versus the left side. U-turns right in the middle of a street. Again, a U-turn on a one-way street. Going the wrong way on a one-way street. I've seen that. Carrying loads of stuff on a bike. Live animals. I've seen a lamb. I've seen a pig, a full-size pig on the back of a bike, legs hog-tied. I've seen tons of propane tanks where the bike is way overloaded with weight, or stacks of wood because they burn wood in their fireplace or on their stove, actually, to cook with. So I've seen some pretty crazy. I wish I could take pictures of it, but it's usually going the opposite direction when I see it, so they're long gone. Dwayne says, did you ever ride your bike on right side shoulder to pass? Yes. Or cut through a corner guessing? Yes. Or make a right when you turn on a red light? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've done the same thing. I've learned. I ride like a Filipino. And it actually flows well because if you drive like them, it's expected, okay? They get mad at you if you're stopping at a red light. Now, there's only one light here, mind you guys. In Dumaguete, we have one light, and it's in Daro. It's close to North Point, and basically nobody knows what that light means. Okay, they had cops out there trying to direct traffic and stopping, but people didn't get that they could make a right turn on red. So they're over on the right and they're not moving and the cars are honking. People didn't stop and they're like confused. Should I go? I didn't understand the colors. There's no driver's training here. There's no books to follow. There's no tests to take. So they had no idea what to do with it. So I think the last I heard, they shut the lights off because they could control what everybody was doing. So last I heard, they shut the lights off. I haven't been down that way in a while, but yeah, there was one light, and it caused more confusion than it solved. It is what it is, right? Yeah, it is what it is. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, your thoughts on China and the Phil relations? Well, China's not friendly with anybody but China. Okay, let's just put it that way. China is out to control the world and communist regime. So it really doesn't matter if it's Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, America, Canada. It doesn't really matter. China's only for China. They're self-perpetuated and motivated, and they're greedy. I don't have much respect for China. I love the Chinese people. Don't get me wrong. Chinese people are wonderful people. The culture is incredible. It's a shame that they got rid of some of the old culture that was destroyed in wars or whatever. I mean, they've been around forever. So the dynasties from the way back is very interesting. And the Chinese people are very nice people, but unfortunately they got a thumb pushing them down. Okay, so safer in which way, Teddy? You're saying Thailand is safer. Okay. No, I spent 6 months in Thailand. It's cleaner. It has better, what's the right word for it? Better infrastructure. They don't have the power going out all the time. They have paved streets without potholes. They don't have a whole lot of dirt roads that you go on. They have nicer buildings, nicer restaurants, but you pay more. And the problem with Thailand is the visa. So you can buy your long-term visa, but it's going to cost you some money, big money, to buy your visa. They've changed the laws so many times I don't keep up with it. But when I was there, it was 800,000 baht, roughly 32 pesos, 32 baht to the dollar. So it wasn't cheap, and they wanted you to put up 800,000, and you had to pay a facilitator to do that for you, and that was another 40,000 baht. So it was going to cost $1,200 US to pay a facilitator, and sometimes they'll put the money up for you, but they'll charge you for it. And then it was only good for so many years. Unless you have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, Thailand is nicer. The food's better, better quality food, better quality living conditions. John Tien is and there's a couple Hoi Hoi Huan. There's a couple places that are really nice, built up, beautiful. They have tall buildings with views, outdoor pools, indoor pools, gyms, pool rooms, a pool table, basketball, things like that inside. Restaurants downstairs. I mean, yes, Thailand's nicer. Is it safer? No. And they don't speak English. So let's see. Let's go back. Your thoughts. E-bikes and helmets from Teddy Bear. Is that enforced? E-bikes do not require a driver's license. It does require a helmet. E-carts do not require anything. You don't need a helmet. It doesn't matter what you're wearing on your feet. Anybody could drive them because of the low horsepower of an electric motor. Under a certain amount of horsepower, you don't need a driver's license. But if you want, you can get an e-bike, electric bikes, and you'll still need to wear a helmet and closed-toe shoes. You do not need to get it registered, is my understanding. Yeah, you won't, unless it has a larger motor in it. You won't need to get it. So, but I'm not 100% sure, since I don't like e-bikes. I don't know too many people that do. I honestly don't like e-carts. I bought a couple, tried it. I'm not a fan. You can get four-wheel carts that are motorized with the fuel engine, and like Bud Brown, he got a three-wheeler. I prefer a four-wheeler, but that's just me. But basically, they're a motorcycle that they build a vehicle onto, typically, unless it comes from India or China. If it comes from India or China, it's Russo does that a lot. Russo is Philippine sales and manufacturer. And but if you get it from China and India, it's going to be built like a vehicle with a instead of a throttle on the handlebar, it's going to have a foot accelerator and foot brakes and things like that. Those are nice. They just cost twice as much as a bike. You're going to pay 200 roughly over 200,000 pesos, 240,000 pesos. So $4,000. You know, you get a really nice one, 4,000. It's gas operated. Now those will require, of course, registration and insurance and license. But I don't know. You don't wear a helmet, not in that kind of vehicle. I never did drive in Manila. Traffic is too wild and crazy. That's for damn sure. I just let her drive. I wouldn't even go in a car there, unless it was a taxi with my seatbelt on, Raymond. There's only one traffic light here. Last I checked, they shut it off. They couldn't figure out how to use it. Nobody was following it. It may be back on, but still, they don't know how to. They don't have no idea what red, green, and yellow means. Dave, cool Dave, I agree. Drive like a local or greater chance of an accident. Yeah, I mean, if you drive odd here, you're a fish out of water. You're going to get an accident because they're not like, what is he doing? You know, why isn't he just getting in? You know, if I see traffic coming and I have an opening and I know I'm going to make a left, I quick go over to the left edge, slow down, follow the edge, and make my left because otherwise, there's so much traffic at certain times of the day, you're holding up people in your lane, okay, with your blinker on, sitting there for an opening. It's just get things flowing better, and that's what they do here. They just, you know, they look at the opportunity. There are no specific rules. Since there are no rule books, no education, and no tests to be taken, you go with the flow, and the flow it flows. It moves here. And actually, there's not as many accidents as you would think here. There's not that many. All right, so where are we at? Let's see. Okay, Rigo. New York City. Hi, from Queens, New York. Wow. I will watch the video you posted earlier today. I usually watch the whole thing over my speakers while I do house chores. Okay, well, check it out. Nice guy. Mike was a nice guy. Very, very intelligent, very nice guy. Lost weight. Went to Thailand to a boot camp, which the link for it is in the description. I'd like to check that out myself, but I'm not in shape enough yet, so I'd have to lose weight. Julio Gold, I'm taking about 3 Gs of creatine mono per day, and so far I like how much it has truly helped me. It's so far a yes for me. I feel stronger and younger. I've been taking it for only 2 weeks. Well, I'm definitely going to check out creatine. I know they have it here. I've heard the word mentioned, but I personally don't take it. But I take a lot of things. That's the problem. I'm taking like 9 peptides, and then on top of it, I take CoQ10. I take a multivitamin every other day because it's a big pill, big vitamin. I take methylene blue. I take hydrogen peroxide, food-grade hydrogen peroxide, and alkali water. I have so many things to take. My whole life is surrounded by, taking all these things, and it's kind of cuts into my free time. What do you pay for insurance per year on an ADV 160? Typically, it's going to be about 5,000 pesos. So that's going to be $90, $85 a year for coverage on the bike. That's with collision comp and everything, 85. It does go a little bit as to how long you've been driving here, whether you're a foreigner or not, the price and value of the bike, is it new, is it old? Roughly 5,000 pesos will cover most bikes. The ADV, I'd have to go look it up because I don't get full coverage on the bike. I get liability coverage only. So liability coverage it only covers, because I rent to people, I can't insure the people that ride it. I have to insure, I can't insure the bike itself unless I name the person riding it. So since they're a rental pool, okay, I can insure my own bike, but I can't insure other bikes that are rented. So what I can get is third-party liability insurance. And so third-party liability insurance is 200,000 pesos of insurance for 300 pesos, was that $5? So for $5, I can get 200,000, and I could use more than one company. If I want to do 400,000, I could just use two different companies, and they could split the cost, whatever it is. It's pretty cheap. So I just get third party because it's just so cheap. Third party covers other people's property and other people, not the driver, not the bike. Scooter rental on 125, 2,500 pesos, 60 pesos to the dollar. So, Mark, 1 week scooter. Now, my 125s are brand new. I might have 124 in the pool, but most of them are all 2025. They all have top boxes, which is a box mounted on the back of the bike so you can put packages or your helmet, whatever. They all are newer bikes. They all have a phone holder with a port for charging your phone. And they all come with third-party liability insurance. It includes up to 2 helmets. Now, I just did my sales pitch. To win. Do you need a Philippines driver's license to register the bike or insure it or buy it? No. No. You could buy a bike, and there's a lot of people that say, oh, I don't have my ACR card, I can't buy a bike. Or I don't have my Philippines driver's license, I can't buy the bike. No. You could have a child buy a bike, okay, if they have the money. You could literally have a underage driver buy a bike, okay, like it's a box of candy. The problem is it takes 2 to 3 months to get your registration when you buy a new bike. And technically, you're not allowed to drive it on the road till you have the LTO, a certificate of registration, okay, which they call a COR, certificate of registration. Now, you do have a receipt that you purchased it, and you technically do have a title that you'll get later too. But the problem is they want the COR, certificate of registration. You don't get that from the LTO until 2 to 3 months after you buy the bike. And if you get pulled over for whatever reason, they can impound your bike, whether it's new, used, whatever. Okay, so again, this is where donations come into power, where you want to make someone happy, and you always have a folded up yellow 500 peso bill in your wallet, and at times, sometimes, when you show your driver's license, it may fall out of your wallet, and it covers a lot of things, and helps along the way, because that works here, okay. But in any case, technically they can ticket you and they can take your bike and impound it, which would suck to have a new bike impounded because you don't know how they're handling it when they put it with other bikes on this truck. Okay, and then you won't have a bike at all, and then you have to go get it out of impound, and then you may not be able to get it out of impound unless you could show that you have the registration. So it may be impounded for several months. Yes, the bike rental is very good. I'm going to probably sell it next year, Kevin. I started the bike rental for Carolyn. That's my wife. And I figured if something happens to me, she'll have an income. However, in that, since then, I basically have a life insurance policy that will pay her. So she won't have to run the bike rental unless she wants to. I said to her I would probably sell it next year so we could travel, because several of the things I do here keep my hands tied. I can't leave the premises a lot of times. I like to go walking or I want to go away, and I wanted to travel with her, and I'm certainly not retired at any point right now. I can't get away. I can't leave the compounds of my home, which is a licensed business location. You can have businesses at your home here. They don't have zoning laws like they do in the U.S., okay? You can run any kind of a business from your home as long as they allow the license, you pay the fees, and you know the right people. So we're actually licensed to operate here. And my idea was eventually I would sell this place with the business and sublet it and make money on the rent, because I have a great lease agreement here. I either buy the place later on or I just sublet it, which I have it in my contract that I could sublet. And and then they can run the business from here because the address for the business is here. But you could have different ownership. You could change the owners. Very simple to change the owners once you have your license. Getting the license was a lot of hoops. I mean, we had to go through veterinary, fire department, building department. We had to have a house plan, a certificate of occupation. They wanted to they wanted to know how many bikes I have and how much money I'm paying, and maybe put up a bond. It was a lot, but it's all done now, so that's cool. So the value of the business, of course, is the fact that you can run a business. So, and I really don't want to move from here if I sell the business. So I don't know how that's going to work out, because if I sold it, they're not going to be able to operate it from here. So I'm thinking about selling it next year because we can't get away, and I'd like to travel with Carolyn. But we do have another thing that's keeping us back, which is her son lives with us now. He's 6 years old, and he has to go to school. And we also have Einstein, which is part of the family, and he's like my youngest boy. So I got somebody at the door, but somebody else is going to have to handle it. Anyway, so you can get the bike. You can buy the bike. Anybody can buy the bike, just that you can't ride it for about 3 months, up to 3 months. And yes, there is another business here I was going to start if you're looking to run a business here. But as far as the rental business, yeah, it was a good idea. It's the only bad part about it is you're stuck. $25 for a 60-day supply. That's cheap. Oh, Tom, are you in the Philippines? Maybe you are in the Philippines. Let me know if you're in the Philippines, and would you send me the information? If you can, send me the information one way or another. You can look me up, the Goldfinger Minute, and send me the information. You got an email on there and possibly a Facebook. But I'd be curious of where you're getting it. Monohydrate. Okay. I don't know if you said that. I think you said it before. I'm going to take another picture of this just to make sure I got it. Hold on. Let's get this picture. So it's in the Philippines. I'm going to take another picture of that. Let me zoom in. And there it is. Boom. Got it. Thank you, sir. Getting a lot of messages. All right. Unfortunately, they're asking me for peptides, but I can't answer them right now. Can't. Sorry, guys. I'll have to get back to you. Let's see. How many bikes I own? Well, that's for me to know, and you to guess. A lot. Let's see. I'm very interested in starting peptides. I sent you an email to get more information. I think it might really help me. Okay, I'm not sure if I swear emails are a problem here. So a lot of times they go into my pending box. I don't know what they call it, but or it says a sent and done. So make sure you got an answer, because I do answer right away, Mike. But hopefully, if you just asked just now, no, I haven't sent back an email, but I do have information on it, and I'm going to be providing peptides, if it's allowed, I'm checking on it still, to the U.S. My understanding, because it's not a medicine, it's not a drug, it's a natural product, kind of like taking a vitamin. I know currently they're selling peptides here in the Philippines on Facebook and on Lazada, believe it or not. It's expensive on Lazada, and it's expensive on Facebook, a lot more, like everything else. But they're selling peptides all over, and they're advertising that they'll ship to anywhere in the world. Now, are they shipping from China or are they shipping from here? I don't know. So I'm getting more information on that, but I'm looking into providing peptides because I'm getting a lot of inquiries from the U.S. because peptides in the U.S. typically have to be Food and Drug Administration approved, and they've only approved, or they're only going to approve one, which is retatrutide. It's already in its third testing phase. Okay. I'm glad you're here in Dumaguete. Yeah, hit me up. Anyway, so I am providing peptides to Filipinos. Mostly foreigners, but in the Philippines. So I have about 25 local customers in Dumaguete, and then I have at least four people that I ship to CDO, Tagate, Cebu. I've shipped to them because they hear me on the podcast, or they heard about it on the podcast, maybe even on the videos that I did. There's information on the videos. If you go back and look at some of my videos, there's lots of information on it. So, yeah, Mike, if you're interested in peptides, just hit me up. Since you're in Dumageddon, there's no shipping cost, so you can just come over to my home and get it. You just look up Easy Rider Rentals, and you'll have to. I'll put a phone number down here for you to reach me. For example, today our 60% of you buyers out. Are 60% of you buyers out for rental? Are you asking me if 60% of my bikes out? No, about 85% are out. I think I only have 5 bikes for rent. So yes, I have a couple dozen bikes. Okay. I know you've put some money into your studio, but just grab your camera and go walking, maybe review some of the cafes, etc. Yeah, I don't like doing that. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I am so busy, dude. I don't, when I go out and I don't want to be doing anything but listening to music on my headset or my ear. Okay. I know the viewers would love to see other stuff out there, but then you have to deal with other people's who come into your view and they can request you to take their picture off. Other people's conversation, they request you to remove the sound. Copyrighted music, that's especially in restaurants and in the mall. You can't have copyrighted music, so if I put that up on YouTube, YouTube will give me a strike and take the video down. And if you get 3 strikes, you're off of YouTube. It's as simple as that. So you're looking at a whole lot of problems. Now, there are guys that do that. Watch those guys. I'm just not one of those guys that walk around and videotape and talk. But there are a couple guys that do that. Joe Go here in Duma. Regular guy, I believe he left Dumageddon. I'm not sure where he is right now. But regular guy travels around and does great videos around different cities and everything he travels. I'm just not one of those guys that does that. I'm sorry. Everything I do is mostly studio. The only walking around I'll do is showing my place and the improvements I made, which I did an earlier video on that. I probably need to do an update. What's the average rental time? A month, 2. I mean, I have guys that rent for 6 to 8 months. I have guys that rent for 1 week. So I don't think there is an average rental time. I don't rent by the day. There's other people that rent by the day. I'll let them get busy by the day. I don't have time to deal checking bikes in and out in a day. I'd have to hire an employee for that. And I'm also at the point where I need to I actually part-time hire a guy now to take care of the bikes for flat tires or replacing parts or doing tune-ups and things like that. I like your package. You're a great chap. I really think you should be careful with the peptides. Well, I did check into it, Kevin. So legally, I'm allowed to do peptides here for friends. It's not a business. It's just I'm doing them a favor. If I got into the business, I'd have to get a license, obviously, because I'm a tourist. And my only concern is shipping to the U.S. because I don't know how the Chinese are doing it, but maybe they're just doing it and figuring if the stuff gets confiscated. I really don't know. But they charge so much money for you guys in the U.S. and Canada for peptides, like 10 times what we're paying here. It's cheap here. But there are no legalities here as far as, like I said, you could order it on Lazada. You don't need a prescription because it's not a drug. You could order on Facebook here. So I'm not breaking any rules here if I'm selling it for doing a favor. I've never done the Luzon loop. I don't even know what it is. In fact, I've never been to Luzon, and I've never been into Manila except for the airport. Well, first of all, everybody signs a release. Okay, Kevin. And yes, they may have a bad effect, and that's true. Good luck suing here. The courts don't favor anybody suing unless you're a Filipino. So Americans suing a Canadian, Canadian suing American, or American suing American won't happen here. There's no way to collect. There's no collection here. So suits could happen, of course. Anybody could sue for any reason. But they realize that they have no way of collecting, and it's expensive to sue, and they usually will throw it out of court. Americans don't have any Americans. Foreigners in general have no rights here, so you can't really sue and collect anything. And again, it's not a medicine, and so I don't need to be a doctor. Okay. Let's see. Are you paying taxes to America because of the money you're earning? Yes, I have to pay taxes. Not on Easy Rider Rentals, which is the motorbike business, because that's specifically here, and I do pay taxes here on the income. I will have to pay taxes for YouTube income. However, I'm pretty sure I'm below the threshold, and my understanding is Trump is changing those laws as well. So we'll see what happens, because I only started making income on YouTube once I created a YouTube channel this year in around April. And it's not a lot. It doesn't generate a lot of money yet, so it's not a big deal. But I will have to pay taxes. I am on Social Security, so I don't pay taxes on Social Security. And there's a few things I have investments on that pays me money that's tax-free. So only YouTube will be responsible, but I think I'll have to just report it. I don't believe there'll be any taxes for income on it. So, yeah. Yeah, I understand, Kevin, your concern. There's always trolls that want to get you in trouble and stuff like that. Well, good luck. If it's not a pill, it's not a medication, it's not a drug. It's a natural product. I do more things than they do on Lazada. A child could order from Lazada and get peptides and multiple different types. Okay, anybody can, and they come cash on delivery. Okay, so seriously, here it's not like if I was in the U.S. I wouldn't be selling it. That's for damn sure. So can I sell to the U.S.? I'm still looking into that. I'm not sure, considering it, but I don't really need the money, so I probably won't do it. Let's see. What does a peptide look like? Okay, I can't get up and show you right now because I'd have to leave my studio. It's a little vial about an inch high. Inside is a white powder or a blue or an orange, depending on which peptide you get. It's freeze-dried, so it doesn't look like much of anything at all. They're sent in a vacuumed vial with a little rubber top. You have to snap the plastic cover off. The little rubber top allows the needle to go through the rubber, but it seals it. They're dry. They're under vacuum, and so you have to rehydrate them. If you're interested in some of that information, I have videos on it. So you can go back and look at some of my videos, and we show pictures of that. You have to use what they call BAC water, bacteriostatic water, which is basically distilled water that has 0.9% alcohol content in it. And the peptide in the little bottle in the dry state will last several years outside the refrigerator and 10 to 20 years inside a refrigerator. Once you rehydrate it, now it can't go bad after, say, 3 months. You want to use it up in the first 2 months just to be safe, because it doesn't go bad where it'll make you ill or sick. It goes bad where it loses its potency around the 3rd month. And so it won't be as effective as when you first rehydrate it. And there's a procedure followed, and I have, depending on which peptide you use, I have about 20 peptides for everything you could think of, okay? Peptides to make you sexually interested, better than Cialis or Viagra, way better, because it's natural, okay? It doesn't affect you, they don't have side effects. They're natural. Peptide is actually a product of your body, like human growth hormones or things like that, that's synthesized, and it matches what your natural body is. So you can't overdose on it. If you take it, the only way you're going to have too low a blood pressure or too low a sugar level or too much of something is if you're taking pills with it, because the pills will force your body to produce extra whatever it's needed to do, or to reduce what your body's making, because a peptide brings you down to normal. So when you start taking peptides after about 3 months, you don't need pills. That's the big problem in the U.S. The FDA doesn't want to approve it. The American Medical Association doesn't want it. and they know they've been around for over 10 years, and they know that if peptides come on the market, they're trying to figure out how they can make money on it. Well, that's why they're charging 10 times the price. They have Lilly is the manufacturer. The main manufacturer is something Lilly, and Lilly controls and they control Lilly as to what the price is offered. So they're going to make money no matter what. They're going to make money on peptides, big money, because it's taking the place of medication. However, there's peptides that will cure the C word. Okay, literally, they have them already, and that's what's scary to the FDA, because they make so much money on doing chemo, radiation, surgery. It's billion dollar industry for the FDA. What about Big Pharma? Big Pharma makes a fortune selling all their different medications and stuff. They don't want you to get well and healthy. That's why they took a lot of the natural healing books off the market. Try to get some natural healing books. 10 years ago, tons of them available. 10, 20 years ago, on Amazon. You go to your library and get natural healing. All that's been pulled. Amazon won't even sell them. They sell them here in the Philippines. I've bought natural healing books, about $37 for a really good one. It's a hardback. Talks about plants. Natural plants, natural healing with plants. Sometimes you have to squeeze. Like I had a toothache. I'll give you an example. I had a toothache. I went to the dentist. The dentist took an X-ray. Said she can't see anything, but the pain was there, and then she goes, "Well, maybe you just have an infection between your gum and your tooth, and the infection's not showing up." She told me to go see another dentist. That dentist it was a capped tooth. He wanted to he wanted to not do root canal. He wanted to pull my molar out. Well, in checking with other people, including the first doctor, the dentist, she said, "Don't lose your molar. If you could save the tooth, just take off the cap, do a root canal, and then recap it," which is more expensive, but they don't realize that you could afford it. They're trying to save you money. The easiest way is to pull the tooth. Now, to pull a tooth or a root canal, this is about the same price. Between 500 and 1,500 pesos. We're not talking a lot of money, okay? We're talking $20, $30, okay? Not talking a lot of money. But it is faster and easier to pull a tooth, okay? And I don't know how much the capping is. The capping is extra. So if you do a root canal, that's $1,500, but you still have to pay for a cap. And not everybody here in Dumaguete knows how to do a cap, a porcelain cap. They're probably still using amalgam, which is mercury and silver. I swear to God, they're 75 years backwards here. So I'm not trying to put them down, but they may very well be using amalgam, which they outlawed 25 years ago in the States because mercury is poisonous to your health. But it used to be silver and mercury mixed together, and then they stuff it in your tooth. Not good. Not good. The mercury goes into your blood, so that's not healthy. In any case, getting back to the situation. So Carolyn looked up in their natural book, and she took some cloves, crushed cloves, got the oil out of the cloves, filtered, put it through a little screen, added a little olive oil to it, and heated it on a stove just to warm it up to get it to mix, but not boil, just to warm it up. Then put it in a cup, let it cool, and I used a cotton ball and put it on the tooth. Literally within hours, pain's gone. Now it's been 3 weeks. I don't have a problem with this tooth. I don't have to go see a dentist. But that's natural healing. That's using plants and old ways before they had medication, in the 1800s, and before they used, even in the 1950s and before, they used natural ways to cure things. You could cure anything with plants. Certain remedies need you to boil something or strain something or juice something, but there's no money in that. There's no money in natural health. So that's the problem. All right, Mike's going to reach out to me. What does a peptide look like? Answer that. Does it look like? It's not a tablet. It's inside a little vial under vacuum. Again, go look at the videos I've done on peptides. Peptide Revolution 1, 2, or 3. Was the Philippines everything you expected? What surprised you the most? in a good way. Okay, so I went to Mexico first. What time are we going? Oh, I went to Mexico first, and Mexico prepared me for the Philippines because the only difference between Mexico and the Philippines is the food and the language. Okay, there isn't much difference. The food here is fried, and it's pork, chicken, and fish. Not too much beef. Mexico has beef. They don't have much beef here. You pay premiums for beef because it's imported. They don't have cattle ranches here. They don't have too many cows. So it's all imported beef from either Brazil or Australia. Usually not the most tenderest beef either because it's been frozen and shipped and stuff like that. Is the Phil everything I expected? Pretty much. I think I'm happier here because of the language. There are restaurants here that you could eat at that will prepare American-style food. You're actually better off to eat at home here. If you went to Thailand, you're better off to eat out. They have great, if you like seafood, incredible seafood in Thailand. Not incredible seafood here. Not incredible beef dishes here. Hard to find a good steak, and you're going to pay dearly for it. Okay, a dinner here at, say, Lorenzo's Steakhouse is going to be 3,000 pesos with no drinks for a steak and potatoes. Be excellent. It'll be a ribeye, but you're going to pay dearly for it, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 pesos. Again, 60 pesos to the dollar, so that's a $50 steak. So I don't eat too much beef anymore. I like pork, got used to it. I like fish, and I like chicken. Now, the people are what make the difference here. The people are so wonderful here. The Filipino people are the nicest people I've ever met in the 13 to 16 countries I've visited. Much better than Mexico, much better than Europe, much better than the U.S. They're just nice. When you ask them for directions, they don't come back with some quick quib like, what do I look like, an information desk, an operator? Ignore. They don't ignore you. They'll take you to where you want to go. They'll literally take you. It's not on their way. They'll go out of their way and they'll take you. The people here are so giving and so sweet and so nice. Also, I found a wonderful woman here. I wouldn't find a wonderful person to be with, a spouse to be with in the United States. I'm 69 years old. At 69, I ain't going to find anything worth a damn in the U.S. as far as female company. So the Philippines, I love the Philippines. It's better in the Philippines. Now, is it for everybody? No. There's guys that come here and go, no, I don't want to see flies or bugs or mosquitoes. Well, there's bugs here, and it's humid. So unless you lived in Florida, it's not like California. California is very dry. Well, used to be anyway, or Nevada. And you don't get a whole lot of flying insects in California or Nevada, or used to. I can't say now because they've planted so many trees and put in so many damn pools. They've made it more humid in California and Los Angeles, but I can't speak of all of California. But they don't have they don't have flying bugs except for in Florida. They don't have flying bugs in California and Nevada much, just crawling. Here, it's bug city. Okay, there's flying, there's crawling, there's aggressive bugs, there's ants, and you don't spray. They don't spray here for bugs. You can get a pesticide, but you're fighting nature. Okay, there are so many bugs here. Good luck. Okay, and they don't do that. They don't spray. They don't spray for bugs inside restaurants and stuff. They'll put up traps for mice or rats, but it's not unheard of to watch it. I'd have a nice restaurant and see something run across the floor in the daytime or nighttime. It's a step above camping in some cases. Okay, I mean, I have a really nice home. It's very modernized. Okay, but if you go outside the city, they don't have hot water. They don't have enclosed bathrooms with flushing toilets. That's not a thing. They don't use toilet paper here. Some of the hotels have put it in for the foreigners, but they use sprayers like a bidet, like a sprayer you use in a sink. You spray your ass. It's cleaner, but they don't use paper because paper clogs up the pipes because they don't use proper plumbing here. So it's different. It's not that it's bad. It's just different, and I enjoy it, and I really like it. And the people make the difference, and my money goes further here, a lot further. Yeah, we talked about Paul earlier. He's just not into the live podcasts anymore. A root canal will cost more if you're getting it done in a major city like in Manila. Well, that's true. Of course, Manila is going to be more for everything. I had a root canal cost me 25,000 pesos. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. And that is in the Philippines, I assume, in Manila, or is that in the U.S.? Because that's absurd. When you say 25,000 pesos, it obviously was probably in Manila. No, they're not that expensive here. That's not happening. And beef isn't cheap in the U.S., I assume, Eric. I take it beef isn't cheap. Well, I've seen ribeyes on people who posted on YouTube or TikTok, and it did seem kind of expensive. But it's even more. It's you're going to pay American prices here for a good steak. Raymond loves it here, so he is in the Philippines, and I assume you're in Manila. And the problem, it's not 25,000 pesos here at all. You can get a tooth pulled for 1,500. I see the top price is maybe 2,500 for a root canal here, 2,500 pesos. And welcome to the tropics. Yeah, well, you are in the tropics, and it does rain a lot here, and we do get humidity. And then it rains at night, and then come during the daytime, it's sunny, and it's humid, and you get a lot of mosquitoes here too. Gold, is there milk from cows available? Yes. At the supermarkets? No. You have to go to the farm where they milk the cows, and they have milk unhomogenized and homogenized. It is very sweet. It's very good milk. They have goat's milk and they have cow's milk. But you have to go there and pick it up and bring it back. They don't carry fresh milk in the supermarkets. It's all in a box milk. So I don't like the box milk. It takes getting used to. It doesn't have a fresh taste. But it keeps longer. Now, when you get the fresh milk and it's unhomogenized, you have a less than 5 day shelf life. It does taste great, and it's like drinking ice cream. It's so good. Okay, I've had it a few times. I've shopped for it a few times. They have a farm in Valencia where they sell it, and they keep it refrigerated. And it's literally fresh. It's that day. You can't go in the morning. You have to go in the afternoon to get it. And they have one also out in near City Mall, Darrow area, I believe. If you know where Pancake House is out here, they have a Pancake House. And no, it's not like the Pancake House they have in California. So sushi, they do have good sushi here. So just a couple restaurants that are very good that I order from. It's better if you go in person to get the food and sushi, but it's always crowded. So I usually just use Grab, which delivers for you. SR Warehouse, yeah, we don't have one here yet. SR Warehouse has milk, okay. I assume fresh milk. Let's see. Teddy says in 2024, $4,000 for a root canal in Niagara Falls. Oh my God. I wouldn't pay $4,000 for a root canal. I would just get the tooth pulled. I'm sure that's cheaper. Oh my God, that's ridiculous, guys. Okay, it's so much cheaper here. A doctor visit here is $5. He'll write you a prescription, whatever you need. Take your regular medications with you and tell him you want prescriptions. As long as you already have a prescription, they'll extend it. You technically don't need a prescription here because there are a few private pharmacies that are not multiple locations that will sell you medications without a prescription, which I know of. Sour cream is available here. It's not quite right. No, it's not going to taste exactly right. But they do have sour cream here, and depending on where you get it, Robinson's has it most times, but it doesn't quite taste quite the same. Okay, but it is sour cream, and if you want a baked potato and you want sour cream on it, it works. Or if you want to add onion dip to it, that works. Pasteurized milk in Valencia is 90 pesos per liter. So there you go. Thank you, Dave. I didn't know the price. And I did go to, that's where I went, is Valencia. And that was really good milk. I mean, you want to drink it for a meal because you can't just have one glass. I mean, it tasted so fresh and sweet. I'd missed milk for a long time. I got to go back there. I have a friend that goes there, and every time he goes, I say, pick me up a couple bottles. The milk at SR is flown in from California. Oh, okay. That's got to cost a lot more than 90 pesos then. If you're going to SR, they can't ship it. So the only way I can get it, I mean, I can't drive up there to go to SR because it's just too far. There's no SR warehouse close by, Dumaguete, that I know of. But yeah, milk is something you may have to do. You may have to get. Typically I mix heavy whipping cream with my coffee, which is a higher fat, lower carb. So when I have coffee, I use high, and that is refrigerated, and that tastes almost the same. When you mix it with coffee, you can't tell the difference. But I haven't had a bowl of cereal for years, at least 5 years. They have SR has sour cream, cream cheese, and mozzarella cheese, and cheddar cheese. Well, everything is available at Robinson's here too. They have sour cream and they have cream cheese. They have mozzarella cheese. They have cheddar cheese, and they have all different types of cheese. Jack, pepper jack, you name it. They have soft cheeses. They have a lot of imported cheeses. All those cheeses are available at Robinson's Market, and, including different brands of cream cheese. Getting your own cow, if you have the property for it, if you have the space. There's a cow that keeps. There's a couple of cows my neighbors have because they're taking them in the field next door and letting them eat the grass. And there's another guy who brings out 7 or 8 goats. And lets them roam on the 2 fields across from my house. I'm next to 2 fields, so you'll hear goats going. I used it in protein shakes. Yeah, that would be great. You can buy whey powder here, or the fattening type. All right, it's coming up on 10:30, guys. I'm going to quit at 10:30, so we got 4 minutes. Any last questions? The kids are doing great. We're getting the, it's going along. I have to buy 4 more tablets. I have to buy a big screen TV. I'm probably in the neighborhood of 400 and maybe $1,400 US short total to get everything covered. Maybe 15 tops for $1,400, I think. And because the tablets are $100 each out of Amazon, I got to get those ordered because they take 2 weeks to get here. And then the TV is local because I buy a 75-inch screen TV. They won't ship that. And they have them locally, and they sell them cheap. I wait typically till Christmas time when they have sales at Robinson's, and Robinson's will deliver. So they're around 60. They're $1,000 for a big screen, high end TV, a Sony TCL with HD with HD quality or better. They even have a new one now. I can't remember what it is. Something 4 letters. Everything's synonyms. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll get it. We'll get it in time. I'm sure. I have a month to go. It's almost the 15th. I think it's the 14th. I have a month to go before we do that. So I just I'm sure we'll make it in time. It's just getting a little tight, but I'll make it. I got to get the tablets first, and then I'll go for the TV. Because the TV is just a matter of buying it and having them deliver it. Hello from Marysville, California. Subscriber and been watching you for a while. Look forward to seeing you. By bike. We live in Amlin, 20 kilometers north. Okay, I've heard of it. All right, cool. Teddy says, thank you, Goldfinger. We appreciate what you do. Thailand is no longer on my list. You should visit Thailand. It's very nice, okay? You should put Thailand back on your list. I liked Thailand. You just living there is going to be difficult, but I like Thailand. You should go there and go to Phuket. Phuket's a lot less crowded than Bangkok. Also, Chiang Mai. If you go up north, Thailand's beautiful. They have great food. They have nice people. They just don't speak English. But it's going to be more expensive. But you definitely should visit Thailand. Thanks for the live. You're welcome. See you, Julio. Hello from Bohol. Hey, Chris. Sorry we cut off about 10:30. I have some friends that want to meet up with me at lunchtime. Yolo County. Woohoo! I was in Tagaytay, one of my many trips there. My girlfriend and I have eating at a place right behind my girlfriend's, and was the biggest spider. Yeah, they have big spiders here I have ever seen. She did not blink. Actually, they have the huntsman spider here. It's as big as your hand. Now, the huntsmans are very fast. They are venomous, but they're not aggressive, okay? And Carolyn, when we get huntsmans in the house, I've seen them pretty big. I'm freaking out because it's got these really long legs. However, Carolyn plays with them. So she'll pick them up by their hind legs, and they don't bite her. And she'll put it in her palm of her hand and literally play with it. Okay, I'm freaking out. She's just taking it outside and putting it on a plant. I'm like, where's the shovel? Okay, so you learn here that it's a good bug because spiders eat the ants and the other bug, and they're really fast because they can hunt down something. They don't have webs. They don't catch things in a web. They catch things by jumping on the top. They actually could jump too, by the way. I had one on my back. It jumped on my back. For another story, another day. That thing scared the shit out of me. Anyway, enjoy your podcast. Thank you. I'll be back next Friday. Friday night, I'm going to, that's tomorrow night for you, going to North Point and thanks. Cool. Yeah, North Point's very nice. If you got my ebook, check out Piapi Deli. In the evening time, they have the pawn shop upstairs at the Dumagetti Hotel. So it's the Dumagetti Hotel. Downstairs is the Piapi Deli. Upstairs is the pawn shop. Great place to go on a Friday night. They have outdoor tables. They have lighting. They have a bar. They'll serve food from the downstairs to the upstairs, and it's a great hangout. I've seen some videos of it, and I haven't recorded it. Now, if I recorded anything, I would record that on a Friday night. So I may go there tomorrow night myself. So many here needs help, especially after you want. I know. God almighty, so many people need, they're hitting me up. I only help children, unfortunately. I'm not going to say unfortunately. I don't help individuals. I don't help adults. I mean, there's plenty of people that do that. My thing, it's my thing, is I help children, elementary school children. I get them helmets because it worries me when they're on motorbikes with their mother and father, and they don't wear helmets or shoes. I get Bud Brown used to get them flip-flops so they don't step it on glass or because they're barefoot. But I give them helmets, and they're still available if they come to me, and I advertise it every once in a while, free helmets. I used to do whole schools, but I didn't see where the whole school was wearing it, so it wasn't cost-effective to do whole schools anymore. But I've given out thousands of helmets, and I've done previously. If you go in the description, you can watch videos of the last couple schools that I did a computer classroom for. And it was a big event. It was really nice. Paul Old Dog records it. He'll be recording this one as well in December. Chico, huh? I'm your neighbor. Well, hello, neighbor, Martin. Hey, Dan, I'm about to sign off. Guys, I'm going to say bye because I need to change clothes. And it doesn't look like it's going to rain outside, though it did rain last night pretty bad. But I don't see the sun out either, so I'll probably meet up with a couple friends and have some lunch. It's my only chance to get away before people come over and want to make payments, pick up peptides, rent a bike, or have 101 questions. Don't forget to check out creatine. No, I won't. I took pictures. Thank you, Julio. I bought mine at the mall GNC Puerto Rico. We don't have a GNC here. But guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love you all. I'll see you next Friday. If you have any questions, definitely get the ebook, which is pinned at the top, which has my email address. You can always ask questions on that. And then if you go into, once you get the ebook, it'll have my contact phone number and my Facebook link, and you can message, friend request messenger me. All right, everybody, I'm going to end the stream. You all take care now. Love you.